يلا يا شباب، إن شاء الله راح نبدأ محاضرتنا لهذا اليوم. فقط أسوي شير للسكرين. الآن أنتم وياي يا شباب؟
وياك أستاذ وياك.
الشاشة واضحة أمامكم؟
لا لسه ما واضحة.
شابتر 8 طالع أمامكم الآن تشوفوه؟
لا
هذا ما واضح.
ما موجود.
هسه
فقط دقيقة.
ما احتمال يطلع أستاذ، أنا النت عندي ضعيف جدا. الشباب طالع عندهم؟
شباب طالع
لا أستاذ
معك؟
بس حرف مو جاي.
جيد، دقيقة بس. هسه يا شباب واضح أمامكم الشاشة؟
نعم أستاذ.
نعم دكتور.
Okay, let us start our lecture today. Today we are going to begin with chapter 8. Chapter 8 entitled The Syllable. Of course, in the previous chapters, we studied English consonants, and all what we have mentioned till now, maybe you studied in the first year. Good. Today we are going to start with something new and something very important. So please pay attention to this chapter, because the following chapters depend on it. All what we are going to study in the following chapters depend on this chapter. So please, chapter 8, as you see, the syllable. What do I mean by the syllable? The syllable means al-maqta'. Let me say something in Arabic. ماذا أعني بكلمة مقطع يا شباب؟ Of course, نحن من نتكلم نعم يا شباب، نحن من نتكلم بأي لغة كانت، بأي لغة، ليست فقط في اللغة الإنجليزية، يعني العربية. نحن حتى نتكلم بالعربية لا نتكلم بتجميع أصوات مفردة. الحقيقة الأصوات، بعض الأصوات نجمعها على شكل مقاطع ونتكلم. فرضا إذا أريد أقول كلمة مدرسة، الحقيقة مدرسة أنا ما دا أقول وأيضا دا أربطها بالحركات فأقول مدرسة. نحس أنه مدرسة وكأنه نقطعها على 3 قطوعات. مدرسة. أيضا فرضا كتاب. فهاي القطوعات عند القطع من بدايته إلى القطع نسميه مقطع. The syllable. So what is a syllable? A syllable can be defined both phonetically and phonologically. يعني we can define syllable from the point of view of phonetics, and we can define the syllable from the point of view of phonology. Let us see from the point of view of phonetic. Of course, you know the word phonetic, and you must have an idea what do we mean by phonetic? ما هو علم الفونيتيك? And you must now recognize or differentiate يعني تميز، تستطيع تفرق بين phonology and phonetics. Phonetics studies what? Studies what? Phonetics. Phonetics studies how do we produce, how do we articulate sounds, how do we hear sounds, and how are sounds transmitted تنتقل، كيف تنتقل الأصوات من في الهواء. إذن
How to analyze sounds.
Very good, Ahmed. How do we analyze sounds? Good. So how do we articulate? How do we hear? And how are sounds transmitted through the air? Good. This is phonetics. While phonology studies what? Phonology studies the relationship of the sounds of a given language. This is phonology. So in phonology, we study, for example, the sounds of English and how they relate to each other, how do they behave when they occur one besides the other. Good. So from the phonetic point of view, it means a relation to the way we produce the sounds and the way they sound. Syllables are what? Are usually described as consisting of a center. Even syllables are a group of sounds. A syllable consists of a group of sounds. One of these sounds is considered a center, which has this center has little or no obstruction to the airflow. Little or no obstruction. And we studied what type of sounds that have little or no obstruction. What type of sounds that have little or no obstruction to airflow? Shabab, what type? Consonant.
The vowels.
Very good. Vowels. So the vowels, we studied these. The vowels have little or no obstruction. So in each syllable, one of the sounds must be a vowel. So I repeat, syllables are usually described as consisting of a center, which has little or no obstruction to the airflow, and which sounds comparatively loud, and in other words, a vowel. Before and after this center, before and after, it means at the beginning and the end of the syllable, there will be what? Greater abstraction. It means sounds that have greater abstraction. It means here what? Consonants. So in each syllable, there must be a vowel, please. There must be. So the vowel is a must. The vowel is a must. Before and after the vowel, there may be. Before and after, consonant or consonants, please. So as you see, this is what? This is from the point of view of phonetics. So I repeat it, a syllable is a unit of sounds. Consists of a sound that has little or no obstruction to the airflow, and before and or after, look, and or after, before and or after this center, there may be consonant or consonants. Good. Go to okay, let us take some examples. Look, minimum syllable. Minimum, it means the smallest syllable that we can utter. So a minimum syllable is what? Is a single vowel, only vowel. And this vowel is considered a syllable, which is called peak. This vowel, it means the center is called peak in isolation, a vowel in isolation. For example, the words only vowel, and this is a syllable. Or the word or the word look, So in phonemic transcription of these words, we are going to see that there is only a vowel, a, o, or a. These are what? These vowels are preceded and followed by silence. Silence means faragh, samt, nothing, no sound before it and no sound after it. So a vowel maybe vowel alone may be considered a syllable, and this is called minimum syllable. Sometimes this vowel has a consonant or consonant before it, and all the vowels, all the consonants that occur before the vowel, we call it onset. Please, what is onset? Onset means any consonant or consonants occur before the vowel is called onset. So sometimes there are consonant or consonants before the vowel. That is, instead of silence, they have one or more consonants preceding the center, the peak. What do we call the center? What do we call the vowel? We call it the peak. Peak means what? القمة، أعلى شيء. The sonorest. Sonorest الأكثر سماعا أو الأكثر قمة من ناحية الصوت. أو for example, ba. Look, ba. So this is a, the vowel a, and of course this is the peak, and there is only one consonant before the center, the peak. So this is onset. The same as key. Look, key. The long E is the center, is the peak of the syllable, and there is K. There is K, only one consonant before the vowel, so K is onset. More the same, more. Okay, good. Sometimes there may be consonant or consonants after the vowel, and these we call them what? We call them coda. So what is coda? Coda means any consonant or consonants that may occur after the vowel. That is, they end with one or more consonant. Example, sorry, there must be ra here. There must be ra here. Good. Out. Look, an arm. This is the vowel. This is the center, the peak of the syllable, and there is a consonant after the peak. So me is considered coda of the syllable. Out. Look, o, long o is the peak of the syllable, and there is te after the vowel. So te here is the coda, and ease also. Look, ease. Good. Some syllables have both onset and coda. In other words, there is consonant or consonants before the vowel, the peak, and there are consonant and consonants after the peak. As you see here, run. Look, run. The a, this is the peak, and there is ra in the onset, and there is na in the coda. So look here, sat the same, fill the same. These are what? These are types of syllables. Good. Let us see according to phonology. Of course, as we said, and as you know, phonology studies what? Phonology is the science that studies the relationship between the sounds of a given language. I repeat it, phonology is the science that studies the relationship between the sounds of a given language. A given language means للغة واحدة. When we define phonetics, we do not mention any language. Phonetics for all the languages, while phonology studies the relationship of the sounds of a given language, of one language. We said English phonology, Arabic phonology, but we can't say English phonetics or Arabic phonetics, no. So, what is a syllable according to phonology? A syllable can be defined by looking at the possible combinations of English phonemes. It means what are the types of phonemes that can be combined together and make a syllable. So, any combination of phonemes is studied by a branch. A branch means فرع صغير of phonology. We call it phonotactics. And then phonotactics studies what? Studies the possible phoneme combinations. So phonotactics studies the possible phoneme combinations of a language. Good. In initial position, in other words, what can occur at the beginning of a word? At the beginning, we find that the word can begin with a vowel, or with 1, 2, or 3 consonants, please. Either the word begins with a vowel, or it begins with 1 consonant, or with 2 consonants, or with 3 consonants. No words begin with more than 3 consonants. Look, examples. Ah. So here there is only a vowel, and there is silence before the vowel. Fa. Look, fa. There is only 1 consonant before the peak. In the onset, there is only 1 consonant. Sta. There are what? There are 2 consonants before the peak a. And spray. There are 3 consonants separate before the peak a. So before the vowel, and we said the vowel is a must. The vowel is a must, please. Before the vowel, there may be 1 or 2 or 3 consonants. More than 3, this is something not possible in English. Yani more than 3 consonants before the vowel, this is something not possible. Good. In the same way, we can look at how a word ends. It means in final position, it means coda. Of course, a word can end with a vowel. It means there is a silence after it, or with 1, 2, 3, or in a small number of cases, 4 consonants. So please pay attention. After the peak, after the vowel, there may be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 consonants. Look, for example, the word I here, after the peak, there is nothing, there is silence. Or look, there is only 1 consonant after the peak. Arts, 2 consonants, or we can say 3 consonants, or even 6. Look, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 consonants after the peak. Good. So in general, what is a syllable? Please, a syllable is a unit of sounds, group of sounds, contains 1 vowel, which is a must, please, a must. In each syllable, there must be a vowel. Please pay attention to that. This vowel maybe, look, I put a must, and maybe in different colors. So this vowel may be preceded and or. Please pay attention to and or. Yeah, maybe preceded and followed, or maybe preceded or followed by a consonant or consonants. Please, is this clear? Please, is this clear? Is this clear?
Clear.
Clear. Good. Good, Ahmed. What about the others? What about the others?
I have some question, please.
Yeah, please.
Do you mean about the syllable?
The syllable.
Syllable,
Good.
yes. That when I can say arm,
Yeah.
word, arm,
Yeah.
just the voice when I say arm,
Of course.
yes.
What do you
يعني
mean? What do you mean?
يعني مو كل الكلمة، وإنما هو المقطع، يعني من كلمة arm مثلا هو المقطع الأول.
What do you mean by كل الكلمة? What do you mean by كل الكلمة? This is the word.
يعني
هي كل
this is
الكلمة.
word. This is I know this is word.
Yeah.
But when I say syllable,
Yeah.
يعني المقطع نفسه، هل هو بس فقط المقطع حين يعني لما أقول لو أو كلها
No.
هو تعتبر الكلمة كلها مقطع.
يعني احنا بنلفظ مدرسة يا شباب. احنا I can't say ما اقدر الفظ بها صحيح ولا صحيح. So I say مدرسة. The same as in school, for example, school.
Yes.
I can't say I can't say this.
Yes.
When I school. So this is a syllable. This is a syllable.
Yes.
If you ask about يعني are there other words that contain more than one syllable in a word? Yeah, of course. إذا أسألتكم هل توجد كلمات في اللغة تحتوي على أكثر من مقطع واحد؟ طبعا، يعني توجد كلمات، وإن شاء الله نجيها بعدين، تحتوي على أكثر من مقطع واحد. لكن الآن في سبيل أن نقدم لكم فكرة واضحة عن السيلبل، جاي أجيب لكم أمثلة بكلمات تحتوي على مقطع واحد. لكن هل توجد كلمات تحتوي؟ طبعا راح نشوف قد بعض الكلمات تحتوي على 5 مقاطع 4 مقاطع، وهاي إن شاء الله نجيها بفصول قادمة. So a syllable is what? A unit, a group of sounds. Contains one vowel, look, one vowel, only one, which is a must. This vowel may be something optional, اختياري. It depends. Maybe preceded and or followed by a consonant or consonants. This is the definition of a syllable. Good. Let's go to the structure of the English syllable. أرجو الانتباه على هذا الموضوع يا شباب، لأنه الآن المفروض راح نبدأ نحلل تركيبة المقطع. And we are going to start with the syllable onset. And now you know the syllable onset. What do you mean by onset? Onset, any consonant or consonants that may occur before the vowel, please. Any consonant or consonants that may occur before the vowel. What do you call these consonants? We call them onset, please. Good. In the onset, what can we find? We can find zero onset, please. Zero, it means nothing. It means silence. In other words, there is no consonant before the vowel. In other words, there is no clear abstraction before the peak. Look, if the word begins with a vowel, this syllable has a zero onset. For example, arms, own, all. Look, arms begins with a vowel, so there is nothing in the onset. There is silence. The word own. And what is the meaning of own? Own, يمتلك. Good. So it begins with O. With yes, Fadlallah, please. Fadlallah.
You said if there is vowel in the sentence, we consider it as a peak.
Yeah.
So if there is 2 vowels.
What do you mean 2 vowels? Fadlallah. It means like own, like O.
2 vowels, yeah.
Like this, like the word own. Fadlallah. Do you mean, for example, do you mean the word own?
Yes.
Oh, this is Fadlallah. This is not 2 vowels. This is 1 vowel. This is a diphthong.
I don't mean own. I mean like, for example.
Yeah. For example.
There is 2 vowels.
Can you give me example? Fadlallah. Can you give me example?
Just think about.
in any
I'm
syllable.
just asking.
Yeah, please, Fadlallah.
Yeah, that's my question. If there is two vowels.
Yeah. In one syllable?
Yeah.
No, it can't be. It can't be. In any syllable, not in the word, Fadlallah, please, not in the word. In any syllable, there must be only one vowel. If you consider O as two vowels, no, this is one vowel. This is diphthong, and it is considered one vowel, Fadlallah. And I said فضل الله في الكلمة ممكن أن تجد أكثر من مقطع واحد، ولكل مقطع يجب أن يكون هناك بيك، والبيك فاول. بس رجاء فضل الله أنت تحسب الكلمة. الآن كل أمثلتنا بكلمات تحتوي على مقطع واحد، يعني إن شاء الله بالدروس الجاية راح نعطيكم كلمات تحتوي على أكثر من مقطع واحد. وقلنا مثل ما سألت زميلتكم بالدقائق السابقة، ممكن الكلمة الواحدة يعني على سبيل المثال university راح نشوف هذه الكلمة تحتوي على أكثر من مقطع واحد، ولكل مقطع بيك، ولكل مقطع فاول. واضح يا شباب؟ أنا الآن أمثلتي كلها، ومثل ما أتبع الكتاباني المقرر لكم، كل الأمثلة اللي نعطيها هي كلمات تحتوي على مقطع واحد لتوضيح الأمر. أما إذا تقولون أنه بعض الكلمات تحتوي على أكثر مقطع، نعم، وإن شاء الله نجيها بالفصول اللاحقة. Good. So here, as you see, this word, for example, own, consists of a diphthong, and diphthong is one vowel, and there is nothing before the diphthong. There is no onset. There is zero onset, as also as in all. Good. In some words, we may find one consonant before the peak, one consonant only. So there is one consonant in the onset, one consonant only. If the syllable begins with one consonant, that initial consonant may be any consonant. Funny, for example, except ing and j is rare. Ing can't occur at the beginning of a word, and you know these. There is no word in English that begins with ing, and there are very, very small number of words that, and all these are considered loan words. Do you know my loan words? Loan words? Do you know my loan words, please? Loan words? L-O-A-N, loan words هي الكلمات التي تدخل إلى اللغة من كلمات أخرى، عفوا من لغات أخرى. لون وورد يعني نسميها لون الكلمات المستعارة في اللغة من لغات أخرى. Good.
كلمات دخيلة. نعم.
Like fiance.
لون words. Sorry, Ahmed.
Like fiance.
Like, good. So yeah. So some of the French words are used in English, and these French words as in jarret means نوع إن كان مثلا ذكر أو أنثى جنس. نعم، jarret. It begins with j, and these words are very, very, very little. Good. So any consonant can occur alone. What do we call this consonant? رجاء انتبه. What do we call these consonants? Initial onset consonant. Initial onset consonant. Please pay attention to the name. كل صوت راح نسميه يا شباب نعطيه اسم. If there is only one consonant in the onset, what do we call this consonant? Initial onset consonant. Examples: mo. So the me, because it is the only consonant that occurs before the peak, so me is initial onset consonant. Longo is peak, the same as in do. De is initial onset consonant, and longo is peak. Se is initial onset consonant, and longi is peak. Fi, the same as fe is initial onset consonant, and longi is peak. So this is one consonant. Sometimes there may be two consonants before the vowel. We can have two or more consonants together. We call these consonant cluster. So of course, you saw the consonant cluster in the first year. Any combination of two or more, any combination of two or more consonants before cluster together, cluster تتجمع. We call them a consonant cluster. Initial two consonants are of two sorts. Please pay attention to me. If there are two consonants before the peak, so these are of two sorts. Either number one, A, either se followed by another consonant, and the first one is se. And there is another consonant after se. So the se is called the pre-initial onset consonant. Please. The se here is called the pre-initial. And the consonant after se is called initial onset consonant. Is it clear, please? I repeat.
No, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I repeat. Good. If there are two consonants before the peak, so these two consonants are of two types. Type 1, the first consonant is se, and this se is followed by another consonant. So the se is called pre-initial onset consonant. The se, only the se. While the consonant that occurs after se is called initial onset consonant. Look at this example. For example, sway. Sway. Look. Sway consists of three sounds, three. The se, the we, and the a. The a, of course, the peak. This is the vowel. So, of course, this is the peak. What do we call the se? Pre-initial onset consonant. What do we call we, which occurs after se? We call it initial onset consonant. Another example is stay. Look at stay. Stay. Sorry, this is, we must change this into te. Good. Look at stay. Stay. So there are two consonants before the peak, before the peak, two, se and te. Because se is the first one, so we call it pre-initial onset consonant. And te, initial onset consonant. Good. This is the first type of two consonants before the peak. The other type is what? Is any consonant except se, followed by one of le, re, we, ye. Any consonant except se, and this consonant followed by one of them, either one of these, either le or re or we or ye. Good. So the first consonant, we call them initial onset consonant. Here, look, initial. While in the previous type, the se, we call it pre-initial. Please pay attention. While if the first consonant is not se, so we call it initial onset consonant. The consonant after the initial, we call it post-initial onset consonant. Look, examples. Play. Look, play. So here, yeah, play. The A is the peak, and there are two consonants before the peak. Look, pe and le. So the pe is what? Initial onset consonant. The consonant after pe, le, post, initial onset consonant. Tray, the same tray. Sorry, here there must be te. Te is what? Initial onset consonant. Re is post initial and a peak. Few, another example. Few, look. The fe is initial onset consonant. Ye, post initial onset consonant. U peak. So please, I repeat, there are two types of two consonants before the peak. Either se, and this se is followed by another consonant, or either one of 15 consonant, let us say any other consonant, followed by one of le, re, or we, or ye. Look here, there is le. Here there is re. Here there is ye. And we can, for example, twice. Twice, another example, twice, te and we before I. Twice. So the te here is initial onset consonant. The way is post-initial. Please, is it clear, please? Is it clear till now?
Yes, yes,
Clear.
Good.
clear. Yes.
Let us go to 3 consonants. If there are 3 consonant clusters before the peak. Now we are talking about what? About the onset. We are talking about the structure of the onset. What is onset? Onset means any consonant or consonants that may occur before the peak. I repeat. Onset means any consonant or consonants that may occur before the peak. Good. So we said, I repeat, an onset may have 0 consonant. An onset may have 1 consonant. An onset may have 2, or here, as you see, an onset may have 3 consonants. Good. If 3 consonants cluster at the beginning of a syllable, so the first one must be se. Why here Peter Roach said must? Peter Roach, the author, مؤلف الكتاب, because no English word starts with other consonants except se when there are 3 consonants at the beginning of a syllable. ماكو كلمة باللغة الإنجليزية تحوي 3 أصوات قبل البيك وهذه الأصوات تبدأ بغير السه، لازم سه. إذن the first one must be se, must be. What do we call se? We call set pre-initial onset consonant. Pre-initial. The consonant means the second one, the consonant that occurs immediately after se is called initial. Why initial? Because se pre-initial ما قبل الأولي أو الأول initial الأول. إذن se pre-initial onset consonant. The consonant immediately after se is called initial onset consonant. The third consonant, it must be one of ليراوية. The third one is called post initial onset consonant. So these are the 3. The se pre-initial, the second one initial, the third one post initial. Examples: stray, 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 stray. Look, stray. Look, the se here, 3 consonants before the peak A. The se is a pre-initial onset consonant. Te, initial onset consonant. Re, post-initial onset consonant. Good. عندي بعد دقيقة واحدة دقيقة يا شباب، فإذا كملت نعيد من جديد رجاءً. فلا تغادرون المحاضرة، يعني دقيقة لي عندك دقيقة واحدة وينهي ونعيد من جديد. Good. The A is the peak. Another example, splay, splay, splay. Look, splay, splay. The se, pre-initial onset consonant, initial onset consonant, and A peak. And look here, no syllable in English contains more than 3 consonants before the peak. This is the maximum number. بعدكم معي يا شباب? This is the maximum. نعم. The maximum أعلى. The maximum number of consonants that may occur before the peak is 3.
3.
Okay? The maximum أعلى شيء is 3. By here, we finished the structure of the onset of the onset. Here, we finish the structure. Okay? So the onset may, I repeat, أعيد. The onset may contain 0 onset, may contain 1 consonant, may contain 2 consonants, may contain 3 consonants. This is the